It's morning again in America. Today, more men and women will go to work than ever before in our country's history. With interest rates at about half the record highs of 1980, nearly 2,000 families today will buy new homes, more than at any time in the past 4 years. This afternoon, 6,500 young men and women will be married. And with inflation at less than half of what it was just 4 years ago, they can look forward with confidence to the future. It's morning again in America. And under the leadership of President Reagan, our country is prouder and stronger and better. Why would we ever want to return to where we were less than 4 short years ago?
Ronald Reagan was born on February 6, 1911, to Jack and Nell Reagan. He was the younger of 2 boys and had an older brother named Neil. As a boy, Ronald was nicknamed Dutch by his father because of his round cheeks and Dutch boy haircut. He attended Dixon High School in Illinois, where he became interested in sports and acting. He also became a lifeguard in his area and kept a record of the 77 lives he saved while on duty. After he graduated from high school, he attended Eureka College and became very involved in politics, acting, and sports.
Did you read King's Row? I never read such a fascinating story.
We were going to run away. She'd been getting out to meet me for a long time. Do I need to say anything more?
Did Dr. Tower know anything about this?
I guess I wouldn't be here today if he had.
In 1964, Reagan, as the governor of California, endorsed the political campaign of the Republican presidential candidate Barry Goldwater. In a speech delivered in Goldwater's favor, Reagan expressed,
"And deserves one. Now let's set the record straight. There's no argument over the choice between peace and war, but there's only one guaranteed way you can have peace, and you can have it in the next second. Surrender. Admittedly, there's a risk in any
According to the Department of Defense's website, during the period 14 October to 1 November 1983, the United States planned and conducted Operation Agent Fury to protect and evacuate U.S. citizens and foreign nationals from Grenada. Our actions were taken in concert with members of the Organization of the Eastern Caribbean States, or OECS. Grenada is a small island in the Caribbean that had strong bonds with the Soviet Union and Cuba. Because both of these countries were strongly communist, President Reagan, acting for the U.S. government, helped to plan an operation to evacuate the U.S. citizens living there for their own safety's sake. Throughout the entire operation, President Reagan was updated constantly on the action. He was completely behind the military in their actions, staying close to the operation similar to the way President Lincoln was close to the Civil War action. The USSR and the US had been at odds for a very long time. After World War II, both sides had weapons technology capable of destroying an entire country, and both sides were afraid of what would happen if they used it, and afraid of what would happen if the other side used it. However, President Reagan changed that. He built up the U.S. forces in Europe, saying that he was unafraid of the Soviets and could and would attack them if necessary. Finally, their President Gorbachev and President Reagan were able to come to an agreement, and the two countries were at peace once more.
Today I say, as long as this gate is closed, as long as this scar of a wall is permitted to stand, it is not the German question alone that remains open, but the question of freedom for all mankind. In the 1950s, Khrushchev predicted, "We will bury you." But in the West today, we see a free world that has achieved a level of prosperity and well-being unprecedented in all human history. In the communist world, we see failure. There is one sign the Soviets can make that would be unmistakable, that would advance dramatically the cause of freedom and peace. General Secretary Gorbachev, if you seek peace, if you seek prosperity for the Soviet Union and Eastern Europe, if you seek liberalization, come here to this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, open this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
When Reagan signed the Immigration Control and Reform Act into law in 1986, it made it illegal to do, as Susan Bibler-Cotten outlines on page 179 of her book, Nations of Immigrants. It required employers to attest to their employees' immigration status. It made it illegal to knowingly hire or recruit unauthorized immigrants. It legalized certain seasonal agricultural illegal immigrants. And it legalized illegal immigrants who had entered the United States before January 1st, 1982, and had resided there continuously with the penalty of a fine, back taxes due, and admission of guilt. About 3 million undocumented immigrants were granted legal status.
Good evening. Usually I talk with you from my office in the West Wing of the White House, but tonight there's something special to talk about, and I've asked someone very special to join me. Nancy and I are here in the West Hall of the White House, and around us are the rooms in which we live. It's the home you've provided for us, of which we merely have temporary custody. Nancy's joining me because the message this evening is not my message, but ours. And we speak to you not simply as fellow citizens, but as fellow parents and grandparents and as concerned neighbors. It's back to school time for America's children, and while drug and alcohol abuse cuts across all generations, it's especially damaging to the young people on whom our future depends. So tonight, from our family to yours, from our home to yours, thank you for joining us. America has accomplished so much in these last few years, whether it's been rebuilding our economy or serving the cause of freedom in the world. What we've been able to achieve has been done with your help, with us working together as a nation united. Now we need your support again. Drugs are menacing our society. They're threatening our values and undercutting our institutions. They're killing our children.
The Reagans worked together to fix the drug problem the United States was going through with programs like Just Say No and a bill that enforced a minimum penalty for those who were caught with drugs. Nancy did so much to help the problem that MSNBC called her the Just Say No First Lady.
Is there anyone out there who still isn't clear about what doing drugs does? Okay, last time. This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
In 1981, our critics charged that letting you keep more of your earnings would trigger an inflationary explosion, send interest rates soaring, and destroy our economy. Well, we cut your tax rates anyway, by nearly 25%. And what that helped trigger was falling inflation, falling interest rates, and the strongest economic expansion in 30 years. Over the course of this century, our tax system has been modified dozens of times and in hundreds of ways. Yet most of those changes didn't improve the system. They made it more like Washington itself, complicated, unfair, cluttered with gobbledygook and loopholes designed for those with the power and influence to hire high-priced legal and tax advisors. But there's more to it than that. Some years ago, an historian, I believe, said that every time in the past when a government began taxing above a certain level of the people's earnings, trust in government began to erode. He said it would begin with efforts to avoid paying the full tax. This would become outright cheating and eventually a distrust and contempt of government itself until there would be a breakdown in law and order. Well, how many times have we heard people brag about clever schemes to avoid paying taxes, or watched luxuries casually written off to be paid for by somebody else, that somebody being you? I believe that in both spirit and substance, our tax system has come to be un-American. How would the proposal work? The present tax system has 14 different brackets of tax rates ranging from 11 to 50%. We would take a giant step toward an ideal system by replacing all that with a simple 3-bracket system with tax rates of 15, 25, and 35%. By lowering everyone's tax rates all the way up the income scale, each of us will have a greater incentive to climb higher, to excel, to help America grow. The power of these incentives would send one simple, straightforward message to an entire nation. America, go for it. To young Americans wondering tonight, where will I go? What will I do with my future? I have a suggestion. Why not set out with your friends on the path of adventure and try to start up your own business? Follow in the footsteps of those 2 college students who launched one of America's great computer firms from the garage behind their house. You too can help us unlock the doors to a golden future. You too can become leaders in this great new era of progress, the age of the entrepreneur.